Hey friends, welcome back to Kiki's Closet. As you can see, I'm still not in New York, so these next batch of episodes are coming to you from Salt Lake City. So let's get this Black History Month celebration started.
Come and play in Kiki's Closet today.
Hey everybody, please help me welcome my wonderful guest, Jordan Barrow.
Hello, hello.
Thanks so much for being here with me today.
Yes, thank you for having me. Calling in all the way from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, hey BK. My first question for you is, what color is your heart today?
Ooh, today my heart, I'm gonna say purple. Feeling purple hearty.
Okay, purple's my favorite color, so that's
Oh,
a good answer.
we see each
We got
other.
it, we got it, we got it. I know that you're a big musical theater fan. I want to know, what was the first memory of going to the theater?
Ooh, my first memory, actually, this is a bit of like a flex. I'm realizing the older I get. I saw the original Broadway company of The Lion King, and I was, I guess, about 6 or 7 years old, and it was my first Broadway show, and I remember those animals coming down the aisle. I mean, I don't have a very vivid memory of it, but I honestly have it enough to remember like that. And looking back, I'm like, wow, that was the original Lion King. Like, okay,
That is
not
a
bad.
flex. That is a flex. My next question was going to be, what was the first time you saw yourself represented on stage? But seeing The Lion King, you saw a beautiful company of black actors right away.
Oh no, that's fully like that is why I'm here. Is because the first thing I ever saw was A, The Lion King being on Broadway in itself, but also B, that it was full of people who looked like me. It's a wonder I didn't beg my parents to move to New York at that moment.
It really is so important, going back to how representation and being able to see yourself on screen, on TV, on stage is so vital for young performers, young people.
Oh, yeah, like out the gate. Like right now I'm watching the season 2 of Raising Dion, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if I was 8 years old as a black child, I'd watch this. I'm like, wow, look at me. Look, like I'm up there.
Going to a competitive musical theater school, I feel like often programs try and push people of color into boxes, into stereotypes. I'm wondering, is that something that you faced in your training or in your first steps in New York?
I feel like yes and no. At my school, they did their best, I think, to give us all the same education. And I feel like early on, I learned that I was not going to be there to, like, become a star or get all the lead roles. I was very fortunate to I had a fairly big part my senior year, but it was one of the, I guess I would say, the black roles of that season, which was okay with me. But definitely in like the real world, I have had that where I'm like, people have to sort of wait to envision me in a certain light that is not that, like, oh, you're playing the black part. It's like, no, I can play like other parts as well. I once said, like, I could play Pippin, but I feel like people are, I never seen a black Pippin, but like Pippin doesn't have a race. So, like,
But why not? Yeah,
why not?
people of color are often waiting for white creative teams to open their mind to the other possibilities, even though we're in musical theater, and musical theater is fanciful and otherworldly in general. So it does feel like they're often playing catch up.
Yeah, which is fine, because I mean, if we don't allow people to catch up, then we don't allow us all to, learn. But it is not, I'm not gonna say it's not frustrating. I'd be lying.
And you're currently making history as the
First black Bach.
in Wicked in North America. I know you've been auditioning for this show for a long time. The Black Lives Matter movement has really shifted so many different conversations in casting and in our business. And I was thrilled to see, first of all, because I know you, but thrilled to see a black performer finally get their time on stage in this iconic show.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. When I first auditioned for it, at the time, I would have been the first black person to ever do the role. And then I didn't get it. And then they ended up hiring someone in the West End in 2016 or 17. But it is super crazy that it took this long, but that it also is happening to me in this way also, because I would have just been happy to do anything. It would not have mattered at all. But I feel pretty lucky, and also like, yeah, this is correct.
I mean, that's the thing. When I saw the news, I was like, well, duh. This is like a no-brainer in casting. but it unfortunately has taken so long. Of course, we're glad that it did happen, but at the
Yeah.
same time, we're like, what happened the last,
I was here.
here? It really has to feel so special knowing that there are so many black and brown boys out there who can finally see themselves represented in this show. I want to know if there's been any challenges stepping in as number one.
I don't know if I feel any challenges in that way, as in regards to race. I feel like the challenge is going to come to people who see it, because I want to just bring myself. Like, I'm not bringing a stereotypical, I would say, black version of this, which in itself is an inappropriate thing anyway, because you can't act black. But I'm not doing anything that is gonna make people be like, oh, that's a take. Like, I'm just being me, and I happen to also be black. So I feel like the challenge is on the audience to just either come on that journey with us, and if you do see hints of like, oh, I see myself, then cool. But if you don't, like, that's also okay, because I think that's what's so nice about the part, is that he's just got such a big heart. I feel like in that way, it's nice to see any person of color do this role.
I agree. And what's been so great over the last 3 months, we've seen our first Black Christine, we've got our first Black Linda coming in full time. I want to know, how do we keep this momentum going, other than casting? How do we, and it's not all up to us, it's up to our white allies as well, in keeping this incredible movement going.
Yeah, I feel like it's just going to come down to continuing to foster people who want to be behind the table, for one, for sure. And then just making sure that the people who are behind the table, who do hold the keys to the kingdom, that they keep expanding their worldview of how this looks, especially on shows like Wicked. That is one show that does exist in a world that is not real. So they're like, let's bend it. Let's see all sorts of different ways and takes on characters. So that's what I hope that people are seeing, that it pays off. People are so excited about these casting decisions. And I feel like, hey, look, you see what it does for your box office, hopefully.
Jordan, thank you so much for joining me here today. You can catch Jordan and Wicked on Broadway at the Gershwin Theater right now. It's kind of crazy to say. It's so cool.
No, it's super not lost on me. Whenever I hear, I'm like, I guess that is where I work. Yeah,
that's where you
I'm
work.
Employed.
Well, congratulations again, Jordan.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Come on and play in Kiki's closet today.